Welcome to the Cult of Comics podcast, the only show where the price of
No.
admission is the same as the price of submission. My name is Tyler Brown, and this is the show. I am joined today by my fellow cult
We didn't even
leaders,
get a
cultists.
countdown.
Nope, no countdowns. Cultists,
All
cult
right.
counselors, and that is going to be Sean
I'm
Walsh and
starting
Josh
the
Craven.
timer right now, so just subtract that time out.
Listen, we wanted to jump in with a discussion about evening woods and flying half mast and beans on toast, and that's what the show is all about. If you've never been on the show before, this is a. Did you say Franken beans or rice and beans?
Franks and beans.
Franks and beans. Did you just made a reference to there's something about Mary, the Ben Stiller movie, the only good Ben Stiller movie that's ever come into existence?
Oh, come on, they're
name one other movie outside of Mystery Men that's a decent Ben Stiller film. Name one.
Heavyweights.
Heavyweights is not a good film.
Tropic Thunder.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. You know what?
The Heartbreak Kid.
I'm wrong. I don't even know what that is. What the hell is that?
Ben Stiller gets married. It's a remake of a what's the guy's name?
Yeah, I know.
Christopher Golden. It's a remake of a 1970s film where he gets married real quick, Malin Ackerman, and they go on their honeymoon. And he basically meets another woman on the honeymoon, and he keeps going back and forth.
Oh, that's a rookie mistake, that is.
No, wait, I actually remember seeing a trailer for that and being really annoyed by how stupid that seems.
It is dumb, but he's in there with his dad, who plays his dad, and they have several scenes together, so it's really neat.
I think that may actually be my real issue with Ben Stiller is that he's one of those guys that mostly got famous because his dad was really successful.
Jerry Stiller, yeah. But he follows in his dad's footsteps, where the best he is when he's getting mad about something.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time, that Jewish outrage character is kind of tired, and if
Jewish outrage,
yeah, Jerry Stiller, that's a thing. Festivus for the rest of us, that really weird, outward,
Okay, I didn't know it was supposed to be a Jewish thing.
Well, it's a New York Jewish thing, apparently. It's a very old stereotype of it. It actually goes back to old unions. It's really weird. Anyways, this is a comic book media podcast. This is our newest episode today.
Yeah,
Monday, August 30th.
No one would be able to tell what this is about just from that.
No, not at all. Just jumping
minutes.
into this, they're going to be really confused. They're going to be is this is this anti-Semitic? What's going on here? No, I'm just a big fan of Seinfeld. Anyways, so this is going to be the news episode Monday, August 30th, and we're going to talk about some of the events in the world going on with comic books. Some of the first bits of news is that the Spider-Man trailer has been released and the runtime has also been announced. I actually was going to avoid watching it, but I could not help myself. Holy
4 months out.
I know. Is it really coming out this year?
December 17th, I think.
It's going to be a Christmas movie. I guess that makes sense. Okay. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not opposed to it necessarily. I mean, the more the better. Well, actually, now that you think about it, there is going to be 4 Marvel films this year, isn't there?
Yeah, it's literally every other month. So July 8th and then September 5th. Eternals come out in November. Spider-Man comes out just a bit early. So instead of coming out the beginning of January, it's coming out in the middle of December. March has Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, the
March,
multiverse.
April, okay. May is Thor, and then we come back around to July again, and that's Black Panther.
Okay. Did you see the confirmation that Wanda is going to be the villain, air quotes villain of the Multiverse of Madness?
No,
it's really weird.
You share that with the rest of us, comic people.
I thought it was a big announcement. It was announced on IGN. It was all over.
I seem to remember something from a while ago where they were like, yeah, she's not the protagonist.
Well, they seem to be implying that she will be the villain, and I'm using that very loosely here with my air quotes in my fingers, my Chris Farley fingers right now. But I guess the thing that they're trying to suggest is that something about the Darkhold has influenced her. They haven't released a whole lot of specifics, but it definitely seems to be leaning more towards her.
I thought that was something that you were saying came out this week.
No. This was something that's been talked about for a minute. So this is mostly just leading into following up with what's going on with the Spider-Man trailer that came out, which of course has led to more speculation now about Mephisto.
Don't get your hopes up, folks. Don't let your speculation go amok.
It's a lot. Although, to be honest with you, considering what storyline this is ripping out of, I don't really think it's unfounded. This is the first time that I can actually say, yeah, I can see why you think that. I mean, there's literally there's the poster, the protest sign against Peter of him with like the devil horns, and then Doctor Strange in the sanctum, it's all cold and he's like dressed up all really fancy, and people are making connections about
really
how,
fancy. He's wearing a jacket.
He's wearing
It's Christmas at Hogwarts.
It basically is, yeah.
It's
and
the
people
Yule
are saying
Ball.
that's very strange. I don't know if
Peter's got to find a date for the Yule Ball.
Something, but that people are making speculations about how Doctor Strange seems like he's really out of character for being so willy-nilly, like ready to just be like, yeah, flippant, let's wipe everybody's memory about you.
Yeah,
which I don't know.
Everyone just survived being, half of everyone being wiped out of existence.
Yeah, I think the problem is
we threaded the needle. He threaded the needle.
I think people forget that like sometimes lazy writing just happens in films. I think people make assumptions about things being universally good.
Marvel are notorious for filming fake footage for their trailer. I don't think it's going to play. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to play out exactly as it did in the trailer in the actual movie.
Well, I mean, maybe, but this is very obviously still ripping from Brand New Day. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I hope Strange isn't as stupid in the actual movie.
Okay.
I mean, again, it's not necessarily something that I'm opposed to, because if it's going to be something that leads up to a good story, I don't really care. It's more about...
it's just the bit that annoyed me was when they're like discussing the specifics of the spell while the spell's already happening.
Yeah.
Like, you probably should have done that beforehand. Don't just be like, okay, I'll do it.
Or he's just like, shut up.
I feel like you're forgetting...
He's the kind of chef that doesn't do like modifications to the order.
Yeah, I think
you ordered this, I'm going to make it that way.
You're forgetting that Ragnarok is like the new standard for majority of the Marvel films moving forward, where it's going to have that comical element of people being kind of silly and goofy. Being like, I'm a superhero.
It's just the Flanderization of the Marvel formula.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong.
And it's always been comical and silly, but they're just ramping it up.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're leaning a little bit more heavy into some of the stuff that gets a bigger rise out of the audience. That being said, I mean, I'm hyped out of my mind to see Alfred Molina play Doc Ock again. I mean,
yeah, and this is just a teaser trailer.
Yeah,
which really just feels like your normal trailer.
Yeah. Did you notice
have you seen any of the
Reddit threads online? Yeah. Have you seen the stuff about like the stuff that they saw online, like what Peter's wearing? Yeah. Okay, so for the audience,
sent it to you.
Okay, so there you go. Listen, I have zero memory about most of the things you do. I just look in your eyes and I get lost. Anyways, apparently some people...
I sent you guys a message about like because he's wearing the same suit as Toby. I said, imagine if they quantum leap it and he's in the bodies of these Spider-Man.
You mean Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah, where we just see Tom Holland and then like in reflections and stuff, it's Toby or Andrew. Imagine how
you don't remember that whole joke about consent? Like Tobey Maguire doesn't consent to this. Toby Spider-Man.
I don't think he actually saw the video that I had posted in the chat, that 8-minute video about Wonder Woman. Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. So that's like where that joke was coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, other people made the joke too.
I did not. Well, I mean, I definitely...
Well, that guy made FD Signifier made the video back in December, like right after the movie came out. So maybe it did originate from him.
Well, I mean, I definitely watched the movie and was making comments about that. Where I was like, that seems weird and uncomfortable.
He is one of the people that pointed it out. Yeah. Honestly, we're just watching the videos now.
Yeah. Fuck Patty Jenkins.
I don't know if that was that only 8 minutes, because I've been suggested several of his videos and they're all like half an hour long, and I go to click and I'm like, I don't know if I have a half an hour.
No, that's the only video that he's really got that's like 8 minutes long. Most of the other ones are 20, 30, 40
I think
minutes.
he even like addressed it in the video and said like, yeah, I'm going straight through the bullshit on this one.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and then make wild amounts of speculation here, because I don't have any. I've intentionally set my standards obscenely low. I am setting myself up for failure for this film and just saying like, I know this is going to be a shitty film. That's what I'm going to tell myself. It's going to be a bad film. It's going to be bad Peter Parker. It's going to be a bad Mary Jane. It's all going to suck in my head. I'm like, this sucks. It's going to suck, because that way, if it's amazing, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised, because I don't want to build myself up with great speculation that's going to make me wish that speculation was true, as opposed to what actually comes out.
But didn't you see all the theories online? One reference. Oh, go
on. So Tom Holland as Toby, there's got to be someone like behind him just whipping him saying, your name is Toby.
What the fuck, man? And this is welcome to the Problematic Podcast. I'm Tyler, and this is
Josh.
You
guys haven't seen.
He's gonna get canceled. Yes, we know what Roots is.
I don't.
It's one of the most popularly quoted pieces of pop culture history in America. Of course, we know what it is. Wait, do you not know what it is?
Of course, I do.
Oh my god, he has no idea. Oh, it's a really popular show from 1980, the 1980s. I can't remember what year it was. It stars
LeVar Burton.
Yeah, thank you. From Reading Rainbow and Star Trek. Yeah, he plays the first storyline is he plays a slave that gets brought over from Africa to America and grows up. And one of the most famous sequences is him getting whipped and him being told his name is Toby instead of his original name, which is Kunta Kinte E. That's why you hear like people you throw around the word Kunta.
Yeah.
Like
did you ever see that Lance Reddick interview on Eric Andre?
No. Oh, yes.
All right. Well, that wouldn't make sense if you didn't know what Roots was.
Yeah, it probably was. It goes over your head if you're not familiar with who LeVar Burton is.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know how we got on this topic, but because of
you know, because he's Toby now.
I hate you.
Yeah, sorry, anyways, how are your expectations so low? Did you not see all the things online about how
I don't want to
that guy leaning over Peter is definitely Daredevil?
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, that's definitely getting like Gwenpool and
listen, I really don't want to have any expectations at this point.
MJ
I know that
is
people are talking
about Cat.
how there's going to be Daredevil. They think that Charlie Cox is going to be in it. There's, I mean, another part.
Yeah, there was literally
Norman Osborn is going to be Peter Parker's father.
There's literally like a close up of Peter sat at the interrogation table, and you can just see like the white shirt of like the guy who's talking to him, and people are like, "Oh, that's clearly Charlie Cox." It's like,
Nick Fury is like outside of the room,
but that's more believable because it's a black guy with a shaved head that looks kind of like him. Whereas
it's a shadow.
Yeah,
I don't know,
but it's clearly a bald black man. Whereas the guy inside the room, all you can see is like the sleeve of a white shirt, and people are like,
some random black man could be the most famous black man. Some random white dude could not be one of the more famous white people. I see where you're.
I'm saying it's more like there's a high chance based on like.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna bring back Donald Glover to play Aaron.
Yeah, I already know where you're going with this. Uncle Aaron Davis. Yeah.
Davis. That's it.
The Prowler.
Again, I don't want to get my hopes up for any of this because, as far as I'm aware, everybody on Reddit is a bunch of cunts, and they're a bunch of fucking morons who overanalyze dumb bullshit, and then they live in their echo chamber. You heard it here first, folks. I think Reddit sucks.
Oh
man, that's my lifeblood. Willem right there. Dafoe. At least we're not, more or less banned from Twitter.
Back.
Well, yeah, you're definitely not wrong there. I think that his voice, like his laughter, was at least in that trailer.
There were people trying to place Hayden
Christian Anderson.
Yeah.
Because we see we see the lightning hitting a sandstorm, which is clearly Electro in some way, but people are like, oh, is this Sandman?
Yeah. They were pointing to like not FBI, but whatever police unit it was closing in on like somebody's balcony apartment.
I don't remember that at all in the slightest. I'll have to go back and watch it. Yeah.
But again, this is like 225 in the trailer.
I can kill you. This is the thing that I'm talking about, though, is like I'm really not joking. Like I hate the idea of people coming up with better ideas of the story that actually comes out, and then Tobey Maguire ends up not being in it, and then Andrew Garfield ends up not being in it. And it's like, even if those two aren't in it, that's fine. But Alfred Molina is at least in it. So what does that mean? Remember when they fucking faked us out with the WandaVision?
Those two are definitely in it.
Yeah.
By the way, this is actually ties into another bit of news. I don't know if you're aware of, but apparently 2 characters from the Foxverse are going to show up. 2, get correct. I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is. They haven't announced it, but apparently 2 are going to show up in the Doctor Strange film. And Wanda may fight them.
Sean, you just did some magic. It's amazing.
Look at you. It's amazing. Fantastic.
I learned it at Hogwarts.
So if we could just like not talk about Spider-Man or see any more trailers for the next 3.5 months, that would be great.
Absolutely, positively. We will mention that the
speaking of Spider-Man,
high.
Yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man, it has this third longest runtime of any MCU movie.
Outside of
Avengers Endgame and Infinity War.
Third is outside of.
Anyways, enough Blue's Clues references. Moving on, because if I talk any more about this, I'm going to implode.
Can we just mention Shang-Chi?
What about it?
Well, that comes out Friday.
It comes out this Friday?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
September 5th. Or not 5th.
So here's
Friday
my question.
Is the 3rd.
With Black Widow having made $125 million from streaming.
Oh, yeah, let's jump to that too.
Well, I wanted to bring that up because that makes me ask the question about this whole conversation of it's still the pandemic right now. There are still people who aren't getting vaccinated. It's interesting that they're making this leap. I understand that this is in response to Scarlett Johansson suing, but I guess I'm wondering if you guys think that this is the smart move to do just a theatrical release.
Well, I mean, Feige didn't want to do any streaming for Black Widow. I don't know whose arm was bent to do that.
It was the new head of Disney, who Bob Iger is now butting heads with.
I don't really think that was a bad choice, though. I definitely agree that there needs to be new contracts drawn up, but I just don't think it's a really good.
But I don't understand why Black Widow, the arm was bent to get that to streaming, but not any of the other Marvel films doing that dual release.
Well, they were originally going to do a dual release for this, weren't they? Didn't they announce that some time ago that they were originally going to be doing dual releases or at least playing it by ear? I mean, they delayed Black Widow for over a year.
I think Black Widow only got a dual release because of the delays and the pandemic. Whereas now we're sort of starting to come out of the pandemic, at least in some places.
Or going back into it.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what happens, who knows? I mean, the other issue is that, I mean, if you even just look outside your window, there's constant new climate change is here, baby. It's affecting us now. I mean, you've got more hurricanes, more fires. I mean, even Sean's drowning. Oh, actually, speaking of which, congratulations. I forgot to mention, we never had the chance to talk about it on this podcast. How does it feel to feel like an American having your first actual shooting?
Oh, I felt honored.
I'm glad to hear.
How close was it to you?
Nowhere near. Like
not
4 hours away.
Listen, you live in a country that's this big. I mean, 4 hours away is like the entire country away. So
yeah, it was like the South Coast,
the other side of the island.
Yeah, exactly. Moving along to actual comic news, it appears that Joshua Williamson with Jorge Molina will be taking over Batman, starting with issue 118. Which one's Mori? I can't remember which creator that is.
Tomei Mori. Colorist.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think.
However, Jorge Jimenez is returning in the next arc. He's taking an arc off to breathe, relax,
recuperate or something.
Yeah. He's been doing it he's been doing a lot of it.
Spread his creative wings.
Spread his creative seed all over the pages.
Yes. That's gonna be the new gimmick. Each comic comes with one drop of seed.
Each comic comes with alliteration. Anyways, this is following the news that James Tynion IV will no longer be working on Batman or any other superhero books for the time being, while he is working on some creator-owned titles while at Substack, Image, and Boom. Let's see here that he's got Wind, Department of Truth, whatever the hell else is going on at Substack.
The Nice House on the Lake.
Nice House on the Lake, but that's kind of taking a hiatus. Something is killing the children at Boom.
Plus 4 at least, plus his new Substack book, Project Blue Book, whatever it is.
Yeah, and there's going to be quite a bit of he's taking on Bendis level work at this point, where he's just doing like 10 titles a month now.
Sean, how much money are you spending on Substack?
None yet.
Yeah, I haven't even started yet. Have you started?
I'll subscribe to Tynan, but apart from that, I don't really know.
We're gonna do it live.
He has the output of quantity and quality where I could justify it, but like, if someone's going to be releasing like 2 books a month, I'm not really going to bother.
Yeah, it's got to be like, it's got to be almost like Patreon, where instead of it being like per month, it's got to be like per release, or else Hickman's just gonna, milk it for a year.
Alrighty, I am actually looking at James Tynion
speaking of
Substack right now, and
Hickman,
it's $7 a month for anything he's doing.
Yeah. Jonathan Hickman released the first chapter of his 3 Worlds, 3 Planets, whatever it's called, this week. And it's from the artist who does Decorum. And yet the final issue is still not out, and they've already started releasing something new.
Has it been like 6 months?
Something like that. Yeah, it was like February or March.
And now they're releasing something new before the last issues even come out.
Yeah, this is annoying. Actually, 7 months coming up soon, because tomorrow is September.
Yeah, well, it will be a certain number of months.
Does he know how to finish a story?
They come out.
No, he does not. He never has. He's never known how to finish a story.
Jumped
Look
off
at what he did with
X-Men.
Manhattan projects and literally everything.
Well, Manhattan projects just kind of ended, didn't it?
I mean, not really. As far as I'm aware, they were just like, and we're gonna go on a hiatus while we finish this story arc, and then
even
you guys know that
even X-Men, he just jumped off without anything.
No.
What is it? Bono's clapping, and every minute a child.
Bono of U2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Josh.
Every minute a child dies in Africa or something like that. Or every
claps.
Yeah, and then people turn that into a meme, like every minute a minute passes. So every week Decorum gets pushed back a week. So no, it's true. Every week it's a sliding date. So now it's already shifted. It was September 29th was the date 2 weeks ago. And
I'm
now
really not
it's
even
October.
joking.
It's 2 weeks later, and now it's October 13th is when it's supposed to be in shops.
I'm
it
really
just
not
keeps
joking.
moving.
I'm not joking. I'm just never gonna buy another Hickman book. Just not. I don't care anymore.
Hey,
every time that he does,
I
it's
waited
just not worth
to the very end. I waited until all of East of West was out to buy any of it.
Yeah,
and I was able to get every single issue. First printing.
When I was
able to buy every single issue for real cheap.
When I first bought that issue, I mean, I really didn't know what to think of it. It was so out there weird. And then I actually went out and got the trade and read that through. And that was such an easy read for me, as opposed to just like doing the single issues. But I still know people who are obsessed with that storyline, even though it's been done for a minute now. And there was, multiple hiatuses or hiatuses or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not
Joshua Williamson
picking up anything new from him.
No.
Until it's finished.
Williamson taking over Batman isn't necessarily, it shouldn't be surprising to me, but I guess I didn't expect him to be the person to take over Batman right now.
Because he's got a lot on his plate already. He's like spearheading the whole universe.
Yeah, he really is.
Joshua Williamson owns DC at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with everything going on with Infinite Frontier, and then he's got an upcoming.
It could have been Tynion, but Tynion went for that
Robin
Substack money.
Yeah, it's a lot going on right now. There's also been an announcement, Sean has pointed out, from Geoff Johns in the recent 80-page spectacular. Redcoat by Geoff Johns and Bryan Hitch. It's going to be coming out. It looks like it's going to be spanning out of the universe of Geiger. Do we have a release date?
No. We might get something when the actual 80-page issue releases. It'll probably have something in there like coming spring 2022 or something, but
maybe January.
This is just like a little nugget from the solicit.
Nugget.
But which means Bryan Hitch clearly isn't staying on Venom for long if he's doing another series.
Well, he's done 2 series a month before.
And they've looked dreadful.
I mean, maybe this might be something that
he's an artist who will always meet the deadline. Even though he doesn't meet the deadline, he rushes work to meet the deadline. But
you can be as critical as you want. That's totally valid. You have a valid judgment about his art. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that he has done 2 comics a month before.
Yes, I'm saying he has done some really, really good stuff. However, he is an artist who is easily rushed.
I'm not saying he's not. Yeah. I am also just saying that you're insinuating that he's going to hop off of Venom because of this. I'm saying that there's a potential that Redcoat could be 6 issues. It could be 2 issues. Who knows?
Yeah.
And maybe he's already done with that. And
it's probably going to be bi-monthly, knowing Geoff Johns.
Realistically, look at it like this. Venom 200 came out, last month, 2 months ago? And now it's going to be coming out. The new issue is going to be coming out in October.
Yeah, October or November.
Yeah, so that's multiple months. So that's enough time to finish however many issues of whatever this is going to be. It's just a matter of time, I mean, I like Bryan Hitch. I'm excited to see his work. I saw what he was doing with Venom in the Free Comic Book Day issue, and it looks interesting. It looks like an interesting storyline moving forward. I'm mostly pumped because Ram V and Al Ewing are going to be on it though.
Yeah.
What else we got going on here? We got Jake Gyllenhaal has been announced to produce and star in the Oblivion song film, the comic book by Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's going to be a thing.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
I do too. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that they're going to make this into a film, but it is. Only
I don't know how they can get it all in there without it being just
rushed.
Not great. Let me see. I mean, if it's going to be like on. Did they say where it was going to be released? If it was going to be like Netflix or something?
You're talking to me like I knew. I didn't put this in the chat. You did.
Did I put this in the chat?
You did.
Somebody did.
Did I? I don't know.
It might have been me.
I actually worry about you because I feel like you don't even know who I am at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
Josh, which one of us is Tyler and which is Sean?
Who am I?
Exactly. Continue. Come on, Josh, make me laugh. Jake Gyllenhaal doing this is going to be exciting to see. The last time that I was like really enthused.
Universal Pictures.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. The last time I was really enthused by a performance of his was Prisoners, I think. Not to say that his performance in Spider-Man was bad at all. I actually
have you seen Nightcrawler?
That was years before.
Nightcrawler was like 2012, 2013.
No, I think it was 14, and Prisoners was 13.
Well, let's find out. Nightcrawler was 2014. Prisoners was 2013. Oops.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And he also did that boxing movie that was basically Rocky, but he did a pretty good performance in it.
I never saw it.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't really Rocky.
Okja, did you?
No, I'd recommend Southpaw. It was a pretty good movie. He plays like a very drastically different character.
I don't know. Like it seemed kind of whatever. I don't know. Didn't that get like really bad reviews?
Which one?
Southpaw.
Let's have a look.
I think that one was fine.
IMDb gave it a 7.4 out of 10. It got mixed critic reviews. What does it get on Rotten Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Say Rotten Tomatoes again. There you go.
Rotten Tomatoes.
It's so hot.
Rotten Tomatoes.
I hate it. That was the... Is that what you think we sound like?
Rotten Tomatoes.
It got a decent audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but what's the critic score?
60.
Ugh, yeah.
And audience scores 75.
Nah.
Okay. Hey, those are pretty close.
The fans seem to enjoy it, but the critics don't.
So here's what I'm thinking.
60's good.
I was just reading the latest issue of Oblivion song, and I tried listening or tried reading Jake Gyllenhaal's voice in this, and the entire time I'm like, I don't know if I can see that right now, but that's mostly just because the way that this artist has been drawn, I don't see Jake Gyllenhaal.
You choose Ed or Nathan?
Nathan. Of course I chose Nathan. Well, he's going to be star. It's Jake Gyllenhaal. You're going to tell me you're going to put Jake Gyllenhaal in a corner?
I think they're both the star.
I mean, I'm not saying that he couldn't play Ed, but I definitely feel like if he's going to be producing it, he's probably going to want the lead role, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't really.
Why don't you fucking know?
Either one.
You've let me down yet again. Brandon Routh has been set to star in the Magic the Gathering animated series. Interesting to see. He's going to be voicing Gideon.
Animated series.
On this show is animated series, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's going to be two series.
Is going to be in the Wings Club.
Ugh.
I assumed it was a live action show.
There's going to be two.
It's animated.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's going to be two Netflix shows. There is going to be the animated show, which is going to be coming out 2022. But the live action series has yet to get off the ground as of yet. They've still been looking at
I
casting.
hoped he was going to be in the live action one because I want him to have Henry Cavill level of success.
Yeah, he's like, if that Superman can do this sort of stuff, this Superman can do that sort of stuff.
Well, apparently he's a big Magic the Gathering fan, and he's actually done a voice for one of the characters on the Magic the Gathering Arena video game for mobile and for laptop as well, or computer. And he said in the announcement that he's been a big fan for years and that he has, quote, a lot of cards, actually too many cards at this point. Gideon is a character that was introduced years back. It's going to be really interesting to see him play that character, though. He has a very gentle voice in my mind, and Gideon just strikes me as a very aggressive character. So it'll be interesting to see. I would be surprised if they don't bring him back for the live action show. What was that?
Is Gideon a wizard?
I mean, not magic necessarily. User. Most of these characters are magic users in different ways. It's just a matter of like, what are their talents, really? It's a really weird thing to try to explain.
It's been a long time, but the name rings a bell.
He is a white planeswalker, white mana planeswalker, who has like tentacle whip things. It's very strange. They've already shown some of the cell animation and everything, but it is going to be coming out soon. It's going to be very interesting to see. And for those of you who don't know who Brandon Routh is, he is the guy who played Superman in Superman Returns. He also has played Adam in the DC Legends of Tomorrow. And
he also played Superman in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah. So he's Ray Palmer, and he, reprised his role.
Yes. Superman. Yes. Victoria Mahoney apparently has been set to direct the Old Guard sequel. Her work is unknown to me. Does anybody know what she's done before?
I was going to ask you guys.
I looked it up before. That was
Yelling to the Sky. I don't really know much else about.
Yeah, nothing. She was the second unit director for Star Wars Episode 9.
What does that even mean?
So anything the main director doesn't want to do. There's usually the A and B story. So usually, the second unit director is directing like the B story.
I've never even heard of that before. That's a very strange position to have heard. She's done such stories, films, shows as Queen Sugar, a couple episodes of Grey's Anatomy, American Crime, Gypsy, which I don't know if you can even say anymore because people still call it a slur. Claws, Power, 7 Seconds, You, I Am the Night. I don't even know what that is. The Red Line.
She was an actress back in the 90s.
Yeah, she's done a couple episodes of Lovecraft Country. So absolutely nothing that anyone's ever heard of. You got it. Awesome.
Except for,
Star Wars. Yeah, but again, that's like this is a position. Fuck off. I've never heard of a second unit director in my life, so I'm very surprised that you knew what that was.
Really?
So, yeah, no, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Here. All right. I mean, that's
I'm pretty sure that Heath Ledger was credited as second unit director of Dark Knight because he filmed his own. That scene where he's in that room, like with the guy with hockey pads.
Oh,
that scene. He directed that himself, so he could really get like the Joker's like manic movements with the camera and stuff.
It's literally the second unit, like a separate set that goes off and shoots other things that the main director doesn't want to be bothered with.
I mean, that doesn't really give me a whole lot of enthusiasm, especially considering I've already been disappointed with the Old Guard film as it is.
Like if you're working with the, so it says like any kind of action sequences, maybe, working with the stunt performers, really random, I know, but that's what I do. I was looking up a Jackie Chan film from the 90s, and that was
a Jackie Chan film from the 90s. I wonder how many of those there must be.
Let me see. Real quick. So I hate you guys.
Why?
Yeah. So it was a guy named Brad Allen that was on 1999 film Gorgeous, like the only fight scene in the movie. And he was part of Jackie Chan's stunt team. And he was the second unit for a ton of Jackie Chan films, as well as other big films. So there's Kick-Ass. He was the stunt coordinator. So we moved from stunt coordinator to second unit director. So Kick-Ass, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I Am Number 4, Pacific Rim, The World's End, Kingsman, Insidious and Sinister, even Wonder Woman. This guy was doing the stunts and doing the second unit director.
You heard it here first, folks. If you guys want to get right into the movie industry, all you got to do is just do what the director doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fill that role that people don't want to do.
Yeah. Like being the blood boy. Apparently, there's been an announcement about the Cowboy Bebop remake being released this year. There's been multiple pictures released about what the show is going to look like. The updated release date for this year is going to be November 19th. It's going to be released on Netflix. There's been, I guess, some controversy, or as Sean would say, controversy. Around the character. I'm sorry, the actress who's going to be playing Faye Valentine. Which
controversy abound.
I'm not really sure what the controversy is.
Is there anything that's not controversial nowadays?
I don't really think so, because I think that people like to be up in arms over really dumb things for other people, even when those people aren't like up in arms about it.
John Cho has said he was very self-conscious about his age for the role. The role
that's
he is playing.
That's ageist.
Yeah, well, the character in the show is supposed to be somewhere around 30, and John Cho is in his late 40s.
Sure.
So, I mean, he still looks the part.
I mean,
but that was something he was worried about, and that's something that some people have judged him on.
I mean, I'll just say, I think that it's interesting that they cast him for that role strictly because he is, fairly up there in age compared to. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't act that role. It's just I'm saying more about like the actual visual element of these things, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad film or story by itself. Yeah. I mean, we've seen people who were like, I don't really see this character playing that. I mean, look at what happened with the Starfire actress with Titans.
Yeah. Well, I think that was more about the outfit and the hair choice.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with the hair choice. I do really not. I just don't like the outfit at all. I don't like that outfit.
Well, I mean, how are you supposed to do like orange hair? Like it was already like it was already kind of not impossible, but like you're already between a rock and a hard place trying to nail that in live action.
But I will say they did, over the 3 seasons, they have made her more accurate every season. She has a costume upgrade. They all have.
Yeah, well, instead of wearing a leotard, it's gone to be a full body suit, right? That's some of the promotional pictures that I've seen.
Not watched it I saw season 1 and like the first couple of episodes, season 2, and just didn't bother with anything else.
So it looks like the reason why people are like frustrated with the whole Faye Valentine thing is because Faye Valentine is a Chinese character, and I guess that they forgot that when they were making this film.
Okay, well, it's not like they, cast Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Emma Watson was too busy. Sorry, Emma Stone.
Yeah. I guess that there's also been some incels online who are, okay, this is where the actual thing is. Okay, that's just stupid. People are upset because she's a very sexualized character and she uses sex as like a power element to her character. And I guess that they're saying that based on the photos they've seen, they're frustrated that she isn't like this overly skimpy, like outfit wearing woman. So of course the incels are like, that's not what she looks like.
Really?
I guess.
I think it looks pretty accurate to me.
I mean, I definitely can see the criticism about her being Chinese and then them forgetting just that she, is Chinese. That's a bit of an oversight that I don't really understand why they did.
If they're allowed to race bend characters into black characters, why is it not acceptable to do it the other way around?
She's also not white. This actress is not white. And also John Cho is Chinese and Spike is Japanese in origin. And also they cast
I mean, it's just a different outfit that she's worn in a different part of the series. Like, it's not an outfit that she's worn.
Yeah, it's a pretty dumb criticism. I mean, honestly, at this point, it seems like race bending is going to be a thing like in every direction at this point. So I'm just like, okay, if it's going to happen in every direction, oh well. I can understand the criticism, but
it just seems so minor of an issue.
Yeah, and I don't really think that. I think the only people who are going to be offended by that are people who really wanted that representation from that character. But
okay,
I don't know. But this not sexualizing her thing is pretty fucking dumb, honestly.
Oh, okay.
What?
I hadn't really looked up Daniel Pineda. I've seen her in a bunch of other things. She's really good.
What has she been in?
The Detour. I've told you guys about that. That's the Jason Jones and Samantha Bee show where it's a family on a road trip each season, basically. And it's created by Jason Jones, and he just shits on himself the entire time.
Okay. Oh, she's Hispanic. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Yeah, they really are just going wild with these.
Yeah, but I mean, they've made her, I don't know, from the promotional pictures, she almost looks like paler than she normally looks.
You mean like in real life?
Well, I don't know. Some pictures or in acting, she looks tanner, but for this Cowboy Bebop, it's almost like they've tried to change her skin tone to be sort of a Chinese skin tone.
Yeah, that's a little
I don't know.
strange,
I feel like I'm gonna just put my foot in my mouth here. If not,
well, I mean, I can't really tell. I don't know what the editing process here is, but
I don't know. Some of the promotional pictures, they've made her so pale.
Yeah, they really have in a lot of these shots. I don't know. I think that Sean's comment kind of makes sense. If they're gonna start race bending, they might as well just do it for like all of the other like ethnicities and races at this point.
It seems to be everyone's being race bent except into white people. Where's my representation? God damn
it! You're such a troll. Anyways,
yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie. I actually believed you for a second. That's how fucking stupid I am right now. Anyways, the Matrix 4 or M4trix Resurrections release date has been announced as well, December 22nd this year. I have not seen the trailer yet. Have you guys?
Has the trailer actually been released yet? No, it was released in the convention.
They announced the title, and the movie comes out in December.
No, they released a trailer at a convention, but
the trailer was
released
there
online. Yeah,
yeah. I feel like it's got to be any day now.
Yeah, it's weird it's taken so long.
Yes.
I mean, it's being released this year, so you would think
in December. Yeah, about the same time as Spider-Man.
Huh. That's going to be an interesting bit of competition for
is that going to be on HBO Max? We're going to see that on HBO Max.
Maybe. It's Warner Brothers, so yeah, possibly. I don't see why not.
But we're not getting the James Bond film on HBO Max.
They're just pushing that out for 3 years. It's never coming out, baby. Oh man, that's really a shame too, because I was actually really looking forward to seeing.
Did they push that back too?
Yeah, of course. It's not out yet. They haven't really made another.
I know, but that's supposed to come out in like November, isn't it?
That was supposed to come out in November last year.
The movie doesn't like exist.
The new time is
they didn't
still
anything.
Oh no, it's supposed to come out October 8th.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, until they push it back because Daniel Craig's got daddy issues.
The forthcoming 25th installment of the James Bond series.
I'm not joking when I say this. I could not give a shit less about Daniel Craig playing that character again. Yeah. I want them to just fucking move on.
Sean, in 30
Casino Royale
was days, good movie. You could be watching it because it comes out the 30th of September in the UK.
You're wrong.
Why? What did I say that's wrong?
You said that his only good James Bond film was Casino Royale.
Skyfall.
How does it feel to have a shitty opinion?
Skyfall was very overrated, I feel. It was a good movie, but very overrated.
I had enough beers that Quantum of Solace was pretty funny.
I was high on mushrooms when I saw Quantum of Solace. That was an experience.
It's not a good movie.
It's not that good. It's really not. I will say that Skyfall is a fucking great ass depiction of that character.
I think it's overrated.
I think that it messes up the lore about people being able to take on the persona of James Bond as a title.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense to me for them to continuously teeter-totter between that. It makes more sense to just let an actor come in and then be like, he's the new one because it's a title.
Oh, right. You guys have stalled for time enough. The Matrix Resurrections will come out December 22nd, and it will be on HBO Max.
Sick.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why we're necessarily bringing this into it, but why not? It's there was a announcement on social media from NBC something about a potential Office reboot, and it is the most clickbaity fucking thing you'll ever see in the world. It basically insinuates that the Office reboot is a go. It has received approval, even though it's not happening whatsoever. It was literally a discussion.
The official news headlines are the US Office reboot gets approval from NBC official,
which does not make
when you actually read the information, the chairman of entertainment content at NBC television was asked about plans for a reboot, and she said it's up to the creators. Like, we'd love more, but it's up to them if they want to come and do more.
So Michael Schur, what you say?
Yeah,
here's what
she
said.
She said the decision's up to Greg Daniels.
Here's what needs to happen. The reboot of a reboot does not need to exist in America.
She even confirmed that there's nothing in development at all. There's not even talks for it.
Yes.
I'm just going to sit here quietly and not join in because people just keep talking over me.
Shh, don't talk. I'm just saying a reboot of a reboot doesn't need to happen. Release it in Africa.
The reboot was better than the original.
There's more of it.
And I say this as a Brit.
I think that
the US Office is better than the English version.
There was 3 series?
I think that
2 seasons and a special.
I think that you have to consider it's 2 different shows, really.
What?
Yeah,
it just is.
But as someone who loves Ricky Gervais and loves British comedy shows, except for Spaced, just The Office, I don't find funny. I've tried watching it so many times, I just can't get into it. I love everything else Ricky Gervais has done. You have no good
sense of humor.
I've loved everything else Ricky Gervais has done.
It's just not supposed to be funny, is it? I thought it was supposed to be just super uncomfortable.
Cringe, yeah.
Yeah, it basically is. But that doesn't mean I enjoy watching it. Although there is that one line that will always get a laugh out of me, which is, I can't remember exactly what they're doing, but it's some sort of like team building thing. And it's like, oh, I think there's been a rape up there.
I think there's been a rape up there. Yeah, that one's a classic. Yeah. That's the only good rape joke ever.
It's just a look on Josh's face.
Yeah. Top 10 rape jokes. Let's do it.
Top 10, Ricky Gervais. Anyways, no, I mean, I will say this. With season 1 of The Office, the American version, them trying really hard to copy that style and then realizing that they couldn't do it.
Season 1 of The Office, season 1 of Parks and Rec. Jinx.
Yeah, it very much was how much can we modify this? This is actually enjoyable. It's really weird seeing like the night and day differences too. Like what happened with what's her name? Cindy
Lauper.
Mindy.
Who are we talking about?
Mindy Kaling's character. What's her name?
Oh God.
I was gonna think about like Ed Helms' character, where they had him come on, be a jerk, and then they brought him back, but they changed the character entirely.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah. That character was a night and day difference. They like had her have like a beehive updo, and she was super reserved. And then she, like season 2 came around, and they're like, nope, she's super chatty and like Beverly Hills girl. Makes no sense. no clarification. They made Steve Carell look bald.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they wanted him to have that look of like kind of a skeezy manager.
Yeah.
Like season 2 until Michael leaves is just pure comedy gold the whole way through.
Yeah.
After Michael leaves, it's okay for a little while, but it is on a downward trend.
Yeah. I mean, the Will Ferrell episodes were funny, but after that, it was just like,
he was only in like 2 or 3.
2.
Yeah.
It feels like forever.
Yeah. And I mean, even then it didn't feel like very natural. Like when he left, he had the brain injury and he came in and did his Will Ferrell, I'm dumb Will Ferrell thing because he can't act,
But did you hear about how Steve Carell actually got like fired from that role?
Fired? I mean, from what I understand, it was that
he wanted to pursue some other movies.
No, they just never reached out to him to renew his contract.
Yeah, he openly said that he was down to come back, but they just never renewed his contract.
They didn't even like contact him about renewing the contract. There was no negotiations. They just didn't bother.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a headache. Let's just not.
Well, I think it was more of like what happened with season 5 of Angel. They were just like, no, actually, that's not true.
That's different.
Yeah, that was more of like a confrontation of like demanding a renewal.
No, Joss went and was like, "Oh, can we get early renewal so I can end on this big cliffhanger?" And at the time, it was like one of Fox's like top-rated shows.
Yeah,
sure.
And the guy in charge of renewing it like panicked and didn't want to give it early renewal, so he just cancelled it instead.
Yeah, which is baffling.
So it ends on this sick cliffhanger.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
and they turned it into a comic book,
and it was continued in a comic. Same with
it's not the same.
All the other.
I'm actually unfamiliar with these last bits of news. We got John Noble and Jimmi Simpson joined Star Trek Prodigy. What is Prodigy?
Prodigy is going to be an animated series set on a mining asteroid facility of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmi Simpson and John Noble are both going to play villains. Who knows?
I like Jimmi Simpson.
Well, they're both good. Yeah. Jimmi Simpson has definitely been on the rise the past few years.
Yeah, ever since like Westworld.
Ever since It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
But that was like years before. That was like he was only in like the first few seasons.
Oh, that's Jimmi Simpson. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you thinking of like Jimmy Smits?
No, I have no idea who fucking Jimmi Simpson was until like you made those two connections, and I'm like, wait, what characters are shared? Oh, that guy, the creepy man, the milkman.
Yeah.
Would you like a warm glass of
Before
milk?
He was Lyle the intern on the David Letterman show. He would just show up and just like play an intern and just talk the shit with Dave.
People will make fun of me for knowing the most esoteric shit, and then I talk to you and I feel so much better about myself. You're just
That's what I'm here for. Some people say that I make them feel bad about themselves just by existing.
No, you make me feel
but I'm glad that my existing can make you feel better about yourself.
It really does.
And not bad about it.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. I'm actually impressed. I strive to be as petty as you with your details of information.
Yeah. Anyway, this, like I said, this is going to be an animated show, maybe geared more towards kids.
Really?
Like I said. Yeah.
So
they're really
not
trying
like the
to
original
spread their
Star Trek
wings
animated series
with this property.
So they're going for the like Star Wars Clone Wars approach.
Yeah. Or the
silence.
Silence.
This is the best radio.
So good. So good. Whatever.
And you're cut off. And moving on. Cobra Kai season 5 has been renewed.
And I'm back, baby. Because this is also me.
Go for it.
Yeah, Cobra Kai has been renewed for I think it's 5th and final season. And they announced that season 4 is going to premiere in December as well. So each season is basically followed one of the movies. Like the first season stands on its own. Second season follows the first Karate Kid film. Third season follows Karate Kid 2. Fourth season is going to go and follow Karate Kid 3. So they're bringing back what's the guy? Not Nate Silver, but Johnny Silver or something from Karate Kid 3.
I don't remember Johnny. I've only ever seen the first 2 films, I think.
You've not seen Karate Kid 3, Tyler. You are terrible.
Yeah.
Who's in it?
And
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Fuck off. I fucking hate you. You fucking
come on. Anyway,
I saw the Jaden Smith one.
Yeah. So you guys probably haven't seen the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank, have you?
I have seen that one. Yeah. I've seen that one because I knew somebody who actually went to school with her back in high school, and that was like the thing that we talked about.
Nice. So the hope is that for the 5th season, they might cover the next Karate Kid and maybe the Jaden Smith Karate Kid. Who knows? Maybe they get Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan in there somehow. Some people I saw some people saying that Hilary Swank has shown interest in coming back. Maybe.
What was
just
the
for
last
funsies?
in?
Huh?
What was the last project that she did actually?
Logan Lucky?
I don't even know what that is.
How do you just know this stuff, Josh?
That's what I'm asking. Like this guy just like has shit in his head where he's just like, yeah, obviously it was in 2017. It was the last time.
Dude. Like That's just how my brain fucking works.
Do you have autism?
It goes like it hops, skips, and jumps, and then says, "Come on, catch up, idiot." So like the other day, I saw the name Valerie, and then just this little ditty starts playing in my head, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" And then I realize it's Amy Winehouse, and then all of a sudden, Valerie.
So yes, he's autistic based off of that like rant that just happened just now. Yes. The last movie that she was in. I think
that's how this works.
Wait a minute. You say Valerie. Is that because of the last movie, Fatale?
No, I don't know.
Because that's the name of her character in Fatale.
I don't know. I haven't even looked at IMDb yet. Hold on.
I just looked it up. It was last year, 2020. That was the last thing that she did. I didn't even know she was still doing movies, honestly. Last thing I saw of her was
the Away TV series where she's in space. Yeah.
The last thing I saw her in was $1 Million Baby.
She was
and that was like 2005.
That's a good movie.
So good.
Yeah, really fucking good film. Too bad that Clint Eastwood's kind of a piece of shit, but also he's not that great of a filmmaker.
What the hell?
There, I said it. Yeah.
I didn't realize that she voiced Joey Pogo on BoJack Horseman. That's so weird.
That's a really odd. Okay.
So she played Justin Bieber on BoJack Horseman.
That's funny. I saw Mystic River not that long ago, and I got to tell you, that was one of the most disappointing films I've ever seen in my life. $1 Million Baby,
Pizza Place,
great movie. Gran Torino, great.
That's
movie.
Really weird. Yeah. I was watching Unbreakable yesterday.
Wait,
and the
kid are we doing Clint Eastwood stuff?
The kid from that's in Mystic River. I was looking at his IMDb page, and I was like, oh, like yeah. And then you just say Mystic River now, like
the kid from what?
Unbreakable.
Oh.
The kid from Unbreakable, like the son?
The son, yeah. He's in Mystic River.
He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the 5th season.
God, what's that guy's name?
Joey something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that like
Unbreakable, his name is Spencer Treat Clark.
Help me out here. What was the name of the movie? Help me out, guys. The Mule.
Unbreakable.
That was the last movie that Clint Eastwood made. In that movie, Clint Eastwood is a 90-year-old man
who has a threesome
twice in the movie he made.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but that is a bull
90 years old.
Well, don't worry. If he's directing it, they only shot the scene once. They didn't make the girls shoot it more than once.
That is very
true. Do you
true.
think that he was shouting racial slurs in between takes, like the entire time, like in Gran Torino? Just shouting racial names about Asian people in between takes, like while he's just having sex with 2 hookers at once.
If that's what you get off on, sure.
I hate you. Have you never seen Gran Torino?
Yeah, I watched it. He had his son in there.
Okay.
Scott Eastwood.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna think I'm absolutely like foolish here. I didn't know any of those racial slurs that he was throwing around in that movie before I saw that movie. So when he was throwing around all of those words and he was saying that we used to stack like you 6 feet high, I was like, what the hell is that? And he just kept throwing them out. And I'm just like, am I really
cousin
just that?
Like loves that movie and just
No, I mean it's a good movie, but
I need
to
watch Gran Torino.
But like that part of the movie.
There is like a weird association with men and like masculinity about like not being offended by shit like that, and it's just really weird. And I've met guys like that too. It's very fucking stupid. My dad watched that movie, and he watched the sequence in the barbershop, and he was fucking like slapping his hand on his knee, and he was doing his laugh and just fucking going off. He's like, "That's how men are." Pounds of beer.
How did you find your dad though?
How did I find my dad? Oh, it was in between like when we lost him.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. It's in like cell services.
Yeah, exactly.
Cell service. Yeah. Prison cell service.
That's actually really funny. All right. I don't think there's any other bit of news here outside of making jokes about my dad.
Wait, I got some good jokes. Oh, it's fine. I'll save them for the next episode. I'll sprinkle them in.
And this has been our news segment for Cult of Comics. This has been Monday, August 30th, 2021. And that's the news. That's everything that's been going on in the world of comic book news and comic book related news, or just nerd culture news as it stands. My name is Tyler. This is Sean. That's Josh. You can find us on various social media platforms. You can find me on TikTok at Tyler Brown is here. You can check us out on patreon.com/cultofcomics. You can check out our YouTube channel. You can check us out on pretty much every podcast location. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, and give us $1 because money. Have an awesome one. Stay safe. Don't get lost in the cold out there. Tip your waiter. Tell your parents that you love them, unless you don't, in which case cut them off entirely.
And you tell your dad that, Tyler?
Not yet. I'm trying to find my balls. Anyways.
Does he have them?
Yes. He keeps them in his purse. Have a good night.
His